What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Brick Talk, the LEGO investing podcast. Today we are going to be discussing LEGO investments that are overrated, and at the end of the episode, we're going to be giving you guys some underrated picks that we think have some real potential. As always, nothing we're talking about today is financial advice. Always do your own due diligence. It's your money. It's your responsibility.
And don't forget, DG, we're always going to fit in a little bit of good set, bad set at the end of the episode.
All right, Kevin, the first set that I noticed on your list that I think has no business being anywhere near a top set for investment, this is 75352 Emperor's Throne Room Diorama. As we know, it's $100 MSRP, came out last May, and it's retiring at the end of this year. And I gotta say, looking at the first dioramas that retired now 9 months ago, what are the preliminary results? Every single one of them selling under MSRP, including Trash Compactor Diorama, which I was really excited about. I thought this set would do very well, being a Walmart exclusive, being limited in supply, and almost never being put on sale. But here we are. All three of these are selling well under their MSRP. Here's the Death Star going for about 60% of its MSRP. Looking here on Barnes & Noble, we have 25% off LEGO, including this set that's 9 months retired. And what's that behind there? Oh, I see it. Asha's Cottage, available 25% off. Maybe you want to pick some of those up, Kevin. But back to this diorama, all three of the prior comps that have retired are not doing well. At least they're not off to a strong start on eBay or on Amazon. So why would I put my money into more retiring dioramas at a higher price point when those sets that I'm buying are just going to underperform almost anything else I could buy? Now, 2.5 years ago, at the end of 2021, we had this set retire. 75291 Death Star Final Duel, $100 as well. This was a play set, so it came with 5 minifigures. $100 MSRP. Brickset has it as $107 today, nearly 3 years after retirement. I looked on Amazon and it's up to $170, which is a decent price jump, especially if you got it at a discount, but that's 2.5 years after this set retired. Not very good performance. Now back to this year's retiring diorama. It's sleek, it's clean, the construction is a lot more tiled off, it appeals to adults, but the size is small. The quote on the front, "I am a Jedi like my father before me," that's kind of cringy in the movie, and I gotta say it's cringy here on my bookshelf. I don't like the quotes on these. Massive fail. I don't recall exactly how many mentions this set has or the enthusiasm score, and I think this set has no business as a candidate for investment.
10 mentions, but only an enthusiasm score of 1.8 out of 3.0. But DG, come on, man. After that intro, you talk about how we're going to have some real heavy hitters and it's going to be some earth-shattering information. I mean, everybody knows that the dioramas are doing terrible. Everybody knows that you would not pick up this year's dioramas. And that's coming from me, who loves the diorama.
I was going to say, there's a small group of wacky people out there that, for some reason, believe these sets are going to appreciate in value after they retire. They look at sets like this, like the helmet. Well, that's a probe droid, but that's a Dark Trooper helmet. They look at the helmets and say, oh, these will be just like the helmets. But the key difference between these dioramas on the helmets is that the helmets depict characters. People identify with characters, especially with faces, heads, helmets. These dioramas are, I guess they're the most iconic scenes, but they're not well done. They just don't have appeal, as evidenced by the market.
Right there. That's one that we're talking about. And that is my only copy. And that's probably going to be personal build. I walked by 2 at Walmart a few weeks ago that were 50% off. And I walked by them. Now, you can't see it, but down over there is 3 boxes of about 23 of the 3 dioramas that have already retired. And they're just sitting there collecting dust, hanging out, waiting. I still believe that long term they will do well enough, but 9 months, or I guess first year out of the gate, they're not looking too good.
And in your defense, sometimes we have sets start off flat and then time goes by, supply gets exhausted, and then boom, it goes up. That could happen. And for personal build, hey, build what you want.
Yeah.
A set I would like a lot more for investment is right over your right ear battle packs. That one happens to be a Snowtrooper battle pack, which is, I think, going to be bolstered a lot in its aftermarket performance because of another set retiring this year.
Hey, talking about Snowtroopers, if you look right above your head, it looks like there are like 2 big feet trying to like stomp on your dome. What? I can barely see up there on the top of your shelf, but what is that up there?
Well,
let's put it this way. It is what I thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah. You and I were talking about the list, right? Top mentions, top enthusiasm score. My first set, I am going right to the top. Princess Leia Boushh Helmet. This one is overrated. Number 1 set is Princess Leia Boushh Helmet. 44 mentions, E-score of 2.7. Next up is Commander Cody Helmet with 33 mentions. So 11 less mentions to go from first place to to second place. If it's the number one set, you would think, well, geez, this is going to double or triple after fees and shipping and everything else. I just don't see it. Now, if we go to Amazon, Mando is selling 1,000 a month. Rex is selling 1,000 a month. Boushh, not even registering. Why is that? Target exclusive. So that's the one thing that's going to help this set.
Another thing is that Target exclusive sets tend to be suppressed on Amazon during their life and even after their life. Anyone searching in the actual Amazon search bar is never going to find the Boushh set. Only if they Google Lego Boushh Helmet Amazon will they be able to find that page. People are looking at the prior comps of TIE Fighter Pilot, crazy comp there, and the Dark Trooper helmet, which is and they're saying, oh, Target exclusive helmets. I cracked the code. That's all I need to buy. Absolutely not the case. Look at this. This is the weirdest helmet they could have done. It's not desirable. I think the supply-demand imbalance is going to be terrible for this set, and it's going to take a long time for the price to appreciate significantly.
The rumors are that we're going to get a Bo-Katan helmet, maybe a Jango Fett helmet. Even I've seen Kylo Ren get thrown out, but also the Mando helmet originally scheduled for 2025, and now the rumors are it's getting pushed to 2026. So that would be another indication that more helmets are coming. And I don't think Lego would just do one more. So if we are getting more, I think there would be at least 3, honestly. And I don't know what those 3 would be. So if more helmets come, then I think some of these that we got last year and this year have a chance to be revitalized. But it's a big if.
There's the Mandalorian movie coming in 2026.
Yep.
That's probably why I would guess they're keeping that helmet around. And
good point.
And maybe even till 2027. Who knows? Are we going to have a 6-year shelf life Mandalorian helmet? Stay tuned and find out. We're going to have to wait about 2 years for that movie.
And the great thing about a 6-year Mando helmet is that most people thought it retired last year.
Yeah, that could be a comeback story of the decade. If indeed it retires and that movie brings in some new demand, we could see the price on that go way up high. That would be a big surprise. All right, Kevin, I'm going to continue your theme of bashing the most popular sets, but I have good reasons for why I think these popular sets are overrated. I'm definitely going to make some enemies with this one. The set we are talking about is, of course, 76908, the Speed Champions Lamborghini Countach, this white Wolf of Wall Street Lamborghini, the most popular speed champion for investment this year. You could tell me that, Kevin, because you have the data.
14th set on the table, 16 mentions, enthusiasm score of 2.7 out of 3.0.
This is a great example of groupthink. And yes, like you said, this is the 14th most mentioned LEGO investment set of the year. Now, I must confess, I like this set personally a lot. I love the car that it resembles. What I don't love is that it was rumored to retire last year and got pushed back. That's a 2.5-year shelf life, which if we look back at the Speed Champions theme, one of the most studied themes, and for good reason, because it's had some of the best performers. Longer shelf life equals lower return. If we look here on Amazon, it's available now for 20% off, pretty standard. And one reason people love this set is it is selling really fast. 1,000 in the last month. It's number 123 in toy building sets, which is really, really fast. Out of curiosity, let's look at our top 100 sets and let's see if any other Speed Champions pop up in here. So as we'd expect, we have a lot of low price points, $10, $20 and below, $6. Uh-oh. McLaren 2-pack Speed Champions, 20% off. That's the 30th hottest selling LEGO set right now. But let's go on down. Oh, look at this. Ahead of our retiring Countach is a retiring Ferrari 812 Competizione that no one is talking about. Also available for 20% off. So why would I buy a set that's the 123rd hottest selling when everyone is looking at it? And instead I could buy a Ferrari that's the 38th hottest selling that almost nobody's thinking about.
Don't forget, Lego just came out with the new, very expensive, but the, I think it's what, 1/18 scale, the large brick built, and the sports cars, muscle cars. Wait a minute. So the argument is it's overrated because it's not in the top 100, and that 2-pack, by the way, that 2-pack, the McLaren is like the least popular Speed Champions that's retiring the end of the year. There's a lot of hate for McLaren out there, by the way.
Maybe in sentiment, but the numbers don't lie. That thing sells way faster than the Lamborghini.
Or maybe it just went on sale recently and people are buying a bunch of them up. I don't know.
Well, that does affect it as well.
But that Competizione Ferrari, that one is awesome. But I will say, in your defense, when I was hunting around the Walmarts a month ago, picking up the 50% off clearance sets, I have 5 Walmarts in my area. One of them It was an end cap with 4 shelves and they were stacked. And one of those shelves had 30 on it. So it was over 100 Countaches sitting there on an end cap. So I really didn't know what to think of that. And I actually have been thinking similar to you that I want to be careful with the set. I like it a lot, but I really think that one is going to be a $10 to $12, fire sale at the end of the year. And that's when I'm picking it up.
What was the price on the 100 plus you found on the end cap?
Oh, they were full price, $20. So
they were full price.
There. Nobody was going to buy them at that price.
And of course, everything we've said in the past about the MSRPs for Speed Champions moving up, being kinder to the old sets that are inherently now a better value, relatively, that still holds true. So this Lambo at $16 is objectively a pretty great value. The problem is everyone and their mother is looking at this set and has been buying it even last year. If it gets the Supra and the Yesco treatment and goes to $10 or $12, that's going to increase the supply even more. Yes, it's a hot seller, but you know what else I noticed, Kevin, is that looking at some of the higher priced Speed Champions that are a couple years retired that have climbed up to $40, $50, $60 and above, the sales rank slows way down on those sets. And at the same time, you have more and more resellers coming out of the woodworks to lift their inventory. This results in prices stagnating, slow growth, or even for short periods, price declines. This set is so overhyped. It's been talked about so much for so long. And yes, it's a strong seller, but I think when the price climbs up over $30, we're going to see that 1,000 or 2,000 sold a month get cut by about 80 or 90%. And I'm right with you. That new Icons Countach looks amazing. This Speed Champion in a tiny scale also looks amazing. I love the set for personal. I think it can be a solid investment, but I think there's definitely some groupthink going on and people are just piling into this set when some other sets like this Ferrari, as well as some of the other retiring single car Speed Champions this year, hold even better potential. And so I'm not a contrarian Lego investor, but I tend to incorporate this into my strategy. When everyone else is going one way, I like to look the other. And sometimes that's where the best opportunities are.
Well, and honestly, I think that you've made better picks than me over the last year because you're a contrarian and, going back to the dioramas as an example. And so I like that. I've learned from you and I've adopted some of that. So all kidding aside, I got to poke you because, it is such a cool set, but you make some great points. My big hesitation and concern with the set is I think there's going to be zombie stock on this one. I think there's a lot less probability of zombie stock on the $25 sets because Lego saw early on that sales were not great. I'm sure they slowed down production, but the Countach, they've been hearing all the popularity around. They've been pumping those out. I bet there's zombie stock like the Supra a little bit, and then definitely the Aston Martin DB5 had a lot of zombie stock.
For sure. We don't have it really insight into the actual production numbers from Lego, but shelf life gives us an approximation of that. This set has a 2-year and 9-month shelf life, whereas that Ferrari has...
I think it's only 1 year and 9 months, right?
Yeah, correct. 1 year, 9 months. Oh, don't say what I think you're about to say.
All right, DG, when you and I talked ahead of time and said, hey, let's do next episode, overrated, underrated, I said, oh, I can't wait. Bring it on. I've got it set for you. 75359, 332nd Ahsoka's Clone Trooper Battle Pack. And hey, we said 2 overrated and 2 underrated, and I've only done 1 overrated. So that must mean this is my other overrated set. And in fact, it is. This Battle Pack, overrated. I own none. I still would like to get some if it goes to $10 or $12. And I feel like in the last couple of months, there's been more comments against investing in this set than for investing in it. I was surprised by that, but I feel like some buzz is dropping out on this particular battle pack. Let's go to battle packs in general. Lego, of course, continues to come out with them. I think they should. I personally love them. But if we look at recent battle packs and how they're doing, this Clone Trooper Command Station retired in 22, so we're almost 2 years in. $25 isn't bad, but it's not blowing up. And then Snow Trooper Battle Pack, after shipping and fees, you're down a little bit. I realize it's only 9 months into retirement, and I realize on Amazon it's selling a little better. This one we'll come back to because I want to be fully transparent. This is a good example of a very successful set, and I know it only says $35 here, but it's doing a little better than that. But then let's go to some older ones. Retired in 21, $15 to $20. You would think that this would actually be a decent battle pack. Those red Sith Troopers are pretty awesome. The Mando Battle Pack, it felt like it was around for a while. I think there was a little bit of zombie stock, but
yeah.
15 to 21. Now let's go to Amazon and look at battle packs. 501st Clone Troopers, that's going to have almost a 2-year longer shelf life than Ahsoka's, is $3,000 a month. This new awesome Battle Droid battle pack, $3,000 a month. But then Ahsoka's is only $1,000 a month. So my worry with Ahsoka's battle pack is there's going to be so much supply on the secondary market. I really think that Lego produced the heck out of that one, just thinking it was going to sell like crazy with season 1 of the Ahsoka series. And I bet it's selling slower than what Lego was thinking it would do, which means it's going to have to get discounted, and then it's going to be tons of supplies. And I worry about there being some zombie stock on it too. Definitely overrated. Full disclosure, 18 mentions on the table. That is in the 9th position. Pretty low, 2.2 enthusiasm score. That is actually the lowest enthusiasm score other than Boba Fett's Microfighter in the top 16. And that Microfighter is only a 2.1. So pretty low enthusiasm score. All right, Mr. Battle Pack. Prove me wrong. Over to you. Let's go.
I hate to just throw out all that carefully researched DD you did, but there was one very important step you forgot when assessing battle packs. You need to filter and look only at clone battle packs, my friend. And when you do that, you'll see that the results are explosively good. Fewer resellers on this set is actually good for me because there'll be less competition, and a lower enthusiasm score for this set I think totally makes sense. People have loved the 501st ever since that one came out, where the helmet holes are actually used. There's been a lot of helmet hole drama and a lot of Captain Vaughn hate on this set. It doesn't really look like Captain Vaughn. That's okay. Should have come with a red visor. The build is one of the best builds we've gotten in any $20 battle pack in a long time. I don't even feel that I need to rebut. Just go on eBay, search clone battle pack, look at the sealed ones, subtract the year of its retirement from 2024, figure out how long it's been retired, and in every single case, you'll find that they outperform other Lego investments.
So let's take a look at the big battle pack, the 501st Legion Clone Troopers that retired, was it last year or 2 years ago?
It's 2 years.
This one was a $35 set.
It was 30.
This one was a $30 set. Mr. Clone Trooper Battle Pack knows everything. Let's say that we were getting it for, round up $25 after taxes and stuff. Well, now you're doing really well. If we look at Camel 3X on this set, it retired, popped up pretty quick. Interestingly enough, it has been pretty flat after the retirement. But if we go on eBay, even there, it's doing decent. So $45 plus $9 of shipping, $40 plus $12 of shipping. People are making a 50 to 75% return on investment. But do you think Ahsoka's Clone Troopers is different than all the other Clone Troopers? And do you think that Ahsoka's Clone Troopers may not be as popular as all the other Clone Troopers?
No, I don't think so. We've had battle packs with more obscure clone specialists that have gone on to do great. One thing I don't think enough people appreciate about battle packs, these sets are the easiest in the entire world to bundle with each other, to sell 2 of, or 3 of, or 4 of, or 10 of. By doing that, you can, on a per unit basis, reduce your shipping costs to like less than $1 per box. It costs $7 to ship 1 battle pack, but $20 to ship 20 battle packs. So there's definitely economy of scale here in terms of bundleability. That's one thing that I think of when I'm purchasing sets for investment. Somebody's really only going to want 1 Dark Trooper helmet if they're building or if they're collecting sealed sets. The fighter tank, a set behind me, that's one that's massable. Maybe you want to army build those purple clones and you want more than just 3 of them, so you buy a couple of fighter tanks. Battle packs are like the most massable sets. Something like the Speed Champions, no one's going to buy 2 Lamborghinis. Or maybe they want 1 to keep sealed and 1 to build, but nobody's going to be buying 4, 5, 6 of any particular Speed Champion set. That is the case with these battle packs, and that's part of why I think they're so popular. I'm hugely bullish on this set. The biggest factor for me is waiting to see if we can get it for better than 20% off. If I can find these for $12, $13, $14 around the holidays, I'm going to be going in big. I'd like to have at least 100 of these.
Nice. Well, I'm still going with overrated.
For a long-term hold, nothing better than clone battle packs. The proof is in the pudding. I don't even need to show it. Out of all the battle packs, clone battle packs do the best, by far. Not cherry picking 1 or 2 examples. There's been at least 10 clone battle packs. They've all performed amazingly.
All right. You've talked so much about it. You've gushed so much about it. I'm regretting adding the battle pack to this segment.
Good.
I like that response. Good.
Put you back in your place. Changing topics now, one set that was on your highest mentions list, Tales of the Space Age, we had a commenter tell us you have to look at light kits for this set, and oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This completely changes my outlook on this set and my opinion of it. We have Light My Bricks here. That one's a little more subtle. This looks amazing. And I know that light kits are somewhat of a niche thing. Not everyone who buys a set wants to buy a light kit for it. But I think the light kits for this set could help sell it. Tales of the Space Age, comeback story of the year.
So this was going to be my second underrated set that I was going to tout in today's episode. No kidding. Tales of the Space Age. I'm going for it. This set is underrated in my opinion. 11 mentions. Not bad. It puts it as 33 on the table for mentions, but only an enthusiasm score of 1.9. But in the last few months, I've just hearing more and more positive ripples about this set, and it's space. It can hang on the wall. It's whimsical. It's artistic. I mean, there is something really enchanting about this set. I mean, space travel and all the good that will come with space travel is really captured in this set. Now, obviously, there's a lot of fear and, everything is a trade-off. There'll be some bad with space travel and, we'll just kind of have to evolve like humans do. I didn't even realize that the light kits were that good. I knew they were out there, but I might go get a light kit and just build that thing right up. And I'm now even considering, I wonder if I keep an eye on light kits, try one out, find a good one. Maybe they go on sale sometime and I buy 2 light kits and I sell them as a bundle with this set and try to sell it that way. I wonder if that would, increase profit or not. It might be kind of an interesting experiment to see how that goes, but we can just pull up ideas and, scrolling down, we've talked about this before, very few of them perform poorly. And of the ideas that are retiring at the end of this year, this is the one that is getting the least amount of buzz. BTS Dynamite gets more buzz because, a lot of people are saying, don't invest in it. Yeah, I have 9, but I got them at 30 bucks instead of 100. But the rest of these, though, historically they've done well. They're going to do well. I wouldn't see why another really interesting, different looking idea set wouldn't perform well.
Well, at 33rd on your mentions list, I can't say that this is the least talked about idea set this year, but it is pretty far down there. A little bit of a controversial set, and I'm right there with you, Kevin. I am liking this set more and more. 50% off is a great price for this set. 25 bucks. I would load up on these at that price. So I'm envious of you for finding that. I'm still looking around in the wild. I haven't seen any sales like that. I've only seen 20% off, and that's not enough of a discount for me. So my first underrated set is an ideas set that gets even less buzz and fewer mentions. This is, of course, 21334 Jazz Quartet. I think a lot of people don't even know this set exists. $100 retail price, 1,600 parts. I do feel like there's a little bit of a cop-out going on, Kevin, because you brought this set not too many episodes ago and brought it onto my radar, and ever since that day, I've researched this set heavily. I love this set. 2.5 year shelf life, yes, but during that shelf life, it's been out of stock for a large period of time. I've been noticing on Walmart this set is recently going 20% off, which for a lot of sets like Space Age is just a standard discount, but for this set it's very rare, and when this set goes 20% off it sells out almost immediately. I've been lucky enough to pick up 5 of these at 20%, and if they momentarily go on an even deeper discount, I would scoop up a ton of these at 70 or 60 bucks. Popping over to the BrickBucks Ignite Discord server, I'm in the supply and demand channel. If I put in this set number and scroll through the different Amazon listings, pretty high sales rank there, so it's a slow seller. But look at this, 6 sellers on the listing, and over the last year, the average price while it's out of stock is $136, 36% over retail price. That's amazing. On this other listing, we have 14 sellers, and over the last year, $111 when Amazon is out of stock, which by the way happens pretty frequently. I don't know what's going on with the production numbers, but I suspect this set is extremely limited in its production run, and it's hard to find at any kind of discount. So it has all the makings of a Lego investment. I like the price point. I think this could be a screaming investment.
Great call. And I love the fact that I throw out, like one chart. I think I threw out the Camel 3X chart on this set. I was like, DG, check this out in that previous episode. I like it. And then you go do all the research. Good work, my man. I love that. That is a banger of a set. I love it. And nobody knows that it exists. I mean, it's way flying under the radar, and it is such a beautiful set.
And what I forgot to mention, Kevin, is the way I'm scooping up these sets is the automated deal tracking working within BrickBucks Ignite because you can set up the server to notify you when sets go on a certain sale past a threshold. So last night at 2:15 a.m., this set came back into stock on Walmart, and I could see that within minutes. This is how I've been scooping up these sets, and it's limit 1 or 2 per order. By the time I go to make my second order, it's sold out. So you really got to be fast on this, and that's what's telling me that the production numbers and the numbers that Walmart has for sale are really, really limited. So we think this tool is really useful for those that are operating at a higher scale. We are offering a 1-month free trial using the link in the description below. If you choose to sign up and end up paying for a subscription, Brick Talk will get a commission off of that link, so it's a great way to support the podcast.
All right, my second most underrated set, of course, is Asha's Cottage. No, I am totally kidding. Let me cancel that out. It is the Harry Potter 5-pack Brickheadz Prisoner of Azkaban figures.
Are you joking?
I am not joking. So underrated, and it actually has an enthusiasm score of 2.6. So maybe I am out in left field saying this set is underrated. I really was against this set right out of the gate. I don't really like it that much. I don't like the figures. I don't like the build. I don't like the designs. But the more I've looked at it, I've said, hey, look, last year's Harry Potter multi-pack Professors of Hogwarts, this one I did love. It's gone up $40 to $44 here on Brickset. But remember, you could get this 40% off easily at the end of its shelf life from lego.com. So now you're doing pretty well at $44. And then if we do a comparison, here's last year's multi-pack Star Wars, and it's basically flat. I think typically we would think the Star Wars Brickheadz and the Star Wars sets would be the direction that we would want to go. But I think Prisoner of Azkaban figures is going to be a little bit of a sleeper. I don't expect a lot of investors in this set. But let's look at some recent Harry Potter sets. 12 Grimmauld Place, 120, 144 already. It's been less than a year. Retired. Fluffy's Encounter retired in 22, 40 to 61. Fox Dumbledore's Phoenix retired in 22, 40 to 71. So there are actually some halfway decent Harry Potter sets out there that are doing pretty well early in retirement. And so I actually think this one is worth a look, but I'm waiting until it goes 40% off like all of last year's multi-pack Brickheadz. DG, what do you think?
Brickheadz is a small subset of LEGO fans. If you have a small pool of buyers and a small market, and yet Brickheadz are touted as reliable investments, can't lose, LEGO exclusive, I think you're going to have too much supply. It's September 1st as we record this episode, and it's worth noting that right now there's a Harry Potter gift with purchase, the Borgin & Burke's Flu Network, on purchases over $130. Now this set came out with the collector's edition UCS Burrow, which is a great looking set. Harry Potter gift with purchases do pretty well, and so I looked this morning at, hey, is there anything in the theme I might like to have as an investment? There aren't a lot of great Harry Potter choices this year, so I think a lot of people are going to be loading up on the LEGO exclusive Brickheadz during this promotion. So expect in the coming weeks a lot of people to load up on Harry Potter Brickheadz, including this one, and that's just going to increase the supply even more.
Well, good points. I'm not high on it, but I think that it's underrated. And it's kind of funny how this conversation is unfolding, right? Because again, 12 mentions E-score of 2.6 out of 3.0. That would lead us to believe it's not underrated, but there's a few videos out there that I watch that really like it, but I feel like there's still a lot that don't like it.
That's so ridiculous. 2.6.
I know. So that seems high.
If you can show me the data, I'm open to changing my mind. I don't want to be emotionally invested in my positions. I want to make the best decisions possible, and that means being open to changing my mind, like you with the dioramas, I admire that. No, all the data I'm seeing is negative, negative, negative on this set. I don't like Harry Potter. I don't like Brickheadz. I don't like Harry Potter Brickheadz. I don't like that the last couple of 4 and 5 pack Brickheadz have been suppressed on Amazon. Supply demand is not there. I don't think this is going to be a good investment. And I'm excited now to do my last set because it is niche of a niche of a niche. I can guarantee you, Kevin, without looking at your list, that this is under number 50 on the mentions table. Like I said, it's fun for me to go one direction when the community is going the other. So one thing I've said in the past is I love city sets, particularly small price points. $10 city sets I've done very well on recently. Last year with the 4x4 fire truck, I picked those up at $6 and now they're selling for over 20. So the set I want to talk about is 60428 Space Construction Mech. Now this is not a $10 set, unfortunately, because of Legoflation. The $10 sets are up to $11 now. Looking at the box form factor, it's the same box size as the $10 set, so it's very compact. This set launched at the beginning of this year and it's going to retire at the end of this year. 12-month shelf life, that's a good sign. Why do I think this set is a good set? I'll tell you why I think it's a good set. It's a space construction mech, and looking here, we had a space mining mech from a different theme. This was from the Creator 3-in-1 theme. Pretty cool set, you know, you can see the resemblance. This was a $25 MSRP, frequently available for $20, launched in 21, retired at the end of 22, and look at what happened ever since then. $68 for a $25 set that you certainly could have gotten for $20. That's an amazing ROI. Space mechs, that's where it's at. Looking here at this set on Camel 3X, $11 MSRP, okay, really should be 10, and it's been available a lot of the time for, looks like around $7.50. Looking here at our third-party sales, the one time we went out of stock in April of this year, sold for $17.03. And then it's sold more recently down here. Not a super robust out-of-stock chart, but that can give us an indication. And looking at last year's $10 sets like the Otter Habitat, the 4x4 fire truck, these $10 sets can multiply very, very quickly, up over $20. A couple days ago, actually on August 25th, you can see here, this set went on 42% discount at Amazon and was for a minute the #1 bestseller in toy building sets. We can see there the sales rank #1. Everybody gobbled up that supply, myself included. At $6 and change, I don't see how you can lose on a set like this. Looking at the space mining mech from a couple years ago has given me a lot of confidence on this set. So I'm pleased to share that on this one, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I have purchased 50 of this set. I'm beginning with the end in mind. I know how I will sell these sets. If you're on eBay or Bricklink, it's probably not worth your time to deal with these tiny sets. But if you're on Amazon, it could start to be a little bit more worthwhile.
DG, that was great, man. I would have never thought about that set. I would have never looked at it while you were talking. I was searching my table. No mentions on this set. And here we are with DG Bricks owning 50 of them at $7 from Amazon. I'm sold. I'm sold. I mean, you've talked to me about, you know, offline and in some of our podcasts about those $10 sets. I think I was watching a video the other day saying that the person was saying, I think it was the Otter Habitat was their highest return on investment set from that year.
Yep.
$10 set, and it's like a cool 25 on Amazon. Add a couple zeros to the back end of that, and you're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
No mentions on the space mech? Wow.
None.
I feel like such a contrarian. Now the secret's out. Everyone's going to pile into this set. But when it went on sale, 5,000 sold.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, DG, time to wrap up with a couple of good set, bad set. Here's my first set. I'm going good set, less than a 2-year shelf life. It's Ideas. It's the A-frame cabin. It is a spectacular looking set. I got to point out, #1, I don't think I've ever seen this on sale. If I have, maybe 5 or 10%, but this is a set that rarely goes on sale. It might not retire at the end of this year. We will see. I could see Lego extending this one, but because it's not going on sale, the demand is good enough for them to not have to reduce the price. And then the other reason I like it is because the Treehouse is one of the best-selling sets in Lego's history, at least from all the data that we see. So that's my guess. And the two of them go fantastically together. I think this is a great one to go another direction and try something that not many investors are going for, in my opinion.
I see what you're saying about it pairing with the Treehouse, and there are a lot of Treehouses out there, but I'm just not so sure. I'm a little bit traumatized from the last $180 Ideas set, the Blacksmith, which has not performed. Is that even gone out of stock with Amazon yet?
Still zombie stock.
Still zombie stock. I know there's zombie stock with Barnes & Noble. Side note, I just noticed on the front of the A-frame there, a little yellow birdhouse on the front. That's cute. The trees look great. The building looks great. I like that it could fit into a modular city setup, maybe off in a field somewhere, off in a forest. If it retires this year, it's a short production run, and it never went on sale, then I could see it becoming a decent investment. But at that high price point, you would need this to climb up over $250 for sure, and you'd like it to be $300 for it to really be a good investment. I don't know if I see it. For personal build, I love it. For investment, I'm thinking I'll sit this one out and put that money towards some more space mechs, baby. Space mechs and battle packs. Well, my first set for good set, bad set is a Brickhead, just like you talked about today, Kevin. 40676, the Phantom Menace Brickheads. This is a 6-pack Brickhead, $55 MSRP, not very good. But if we can get it on 30 or 40% like the Battle of Endor Heroes, this could have some real potential. The caveat that goes with that is I'm not completely sure this is going to retire at the end of the year. As of today, September 1st, it is scheduled to retire, but you never know with these things. Battle of Endor we thought wasn't going to retire because it made it all the way through April with the zombie stock, but it did sell out and it did retire. No more were made. And that one's off to a decent start if you got it at that discounted price. So I do not like the Harry Potter Brickheads. I think it's way too small of a market of people who even want what it is you're buying for investment. Star Wars Brickheads, I think that's probably 2 or 3 times the size of the Harry Potter market. So I'm a little bit kinder to this set. Look on the data table, Kevin. How popular is this set and what is the sentiment on it?
14 mentions, enthusiasm score of 2.8.
All right, so investors are very high on this set. I am concerned about the small marketplace of Brickheads, and so probably I'm going to sit this one out unless I get at least 30%. I'd like 40%. So at full price, I got to call this a bad set.
So it's really interesting that you picked this set. You kind of started out as good set. You were saying there's more of a market for Star Wars Brickheads. You were saying, hey, we'll likely get it 40% off like last year's Battle of Endor Heroes. So I thought you were going good set, and I was going to say, oh, this is great. And then you said, nope, bad set, you're sitting it out. So the second set that I picked for today's good set, bad set is this one right here. And I was going to go bad set because kind of like I showed earlier, the Battle of Endor Heroes, it's basically flat. Now, yes, when you factor in the 40% discount when you bought them, pretty good. But I've got, this number is 19, it's actually 20. I've got 20 of these sitting on my shelf. I did get them all at the $25 price point. But, you know, after sending them in or putting them on eBay and everything, I'm looking at $5 to $8 profit per set. I realize it's still early. I always thought this one would be a longer hold time, so I'm not even worrying about these until the end of next year, until next holiday season. When it goes on sale 20% off, I will be getting some, and I am convinced it will retire at the end of this year. Yeah, there'll be a little bit of zombie stock, but I think it's going to follow a very similar path as the Battle of Endor Heroes. So,
and the reason we're focusing so much on Battle of Endor Heroes is because that's really the only prior comparable that we have. It's the only multi-pack Star Wars Brickhead of more than 2 to have retired. One more thing I want to mention is this set is suppressed on Amazon, which is possibly holding that price down. If you search on Google, you can find it, and we have it available for MSRP, literally $39 and change. 42 other sellers on the listing, selling it for around $40, $43. There seems to be a lot of supply. Now, I can't see the quantity here unless I go a level deeper, but there's a lot of supply available for $40 and change. If you got this not at 40%, I think you're hurting right now.
Yeah, I feel hurting getting it at 40%. But again, I'll wait another 12 months, see what happens.
But searching within Amazon for Lego Endor Brickheads, how much more specific could I be? Amazon is suggesting any number of other products for me to look at. I mean, it's suppressed. I'm not going to be able to find this unless I search in Google or have a direct link to it. For your casual buyers who are just typing things in on Amazon, that means 90% of your potential audience is not going to be able to see this. So all that Amazon supply goes to eBay and holds that price down for a long time. Unless there's significant demand, hundreds and hundreds or thousands per month eating up that limited supply, I think the price on this is going to stagnate a long time. Doesn't bode well for the Phantom Menace Brickheads. So like I said, unless I get it 40%, I'm not going to be investing in it.
Yep, exactly.
Great job today, Kevin. I enjoyed talking about our hot takes.
That was a blast. That was great.
Hopefully you enjoyed it too. Thank you very much for watching. Leave your comments down below if you have them. We'll be back soon with another episode. It's getting to the crunch time part of the year. We're about to see some amazing sales starting in October and November. So keep on the lookout. Be sure to subscribe to Kevin's channel if you haven't already.
That's a wrap on this one. We will see you guys in the next one.
I'm still just so shocked no one's mentioned the Space Mech. That's like one of my sleeper picks of the year. I feel so good about myself.
You didn't text me or anything when you were buying 50 off of Amazon.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.